That was so abrupt. I haven't used that countdown timer in like the longest time. Hello, my tarot maniacs. Is it? Oh, it is Friday the 13th. I had no idea. I totally flaked on that. Friday the 13th is kind of fun. Kind of fun. Karen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, I want to once again congratulate who, me? I want to congratulate Laura Lynn. She was the winner of the membership giveaway. So if you're not a member of the channel, every month I give away a reading. I give away a half hour to the membership. You also get access to a secret link for a discounted hour reading with me as well. That is a gift for all of my members. So if you guys are thinking about becoming a member, there are some perks. You get early access to all my videos. I have switched my production back to heavy production. I'm just going to do lives on Friday. I'm occasionally going to do a mixtape Monday live. But the live schedule, my metrics were really down, guys. So you guys like the production videos. So I'm going to keep doing that. And we have added some cool stuff. 2 for Tuesday is back. I know everybody loved 2 for Tuesday. 2 for Tuesday is going to be 2 videos that are related. So it could be he said, she said, it could be 2 sides of an equation, that kind of a thing. Wicked Wednesdays, I'm going to be doing more true crime. I'm going to be doing some spookier stuff. You guys know I don't like the spooky stuff because it sticks with me, but it is a challenge for the psychic to start to not have things stick to me quite so much. Wife of a grumpy old Marine is in the chat, and she knows what I'm talking about. She's a psychic too. Izzy, question is how you can donate however much you want by super chat. Totally fine. Just do the super chat so I can actually see your question. It'll get highlighted. So whatever you can give, it's totally fine. I am grateful for whatever you guys can do. I know everybody has different flexibility with their disposable cash. This is my full-time job and I do have bills to pay. So I appreciate every little bit. Your presence is wonderful as well. So I thank you for being here. Penny Jonas. I got to hang out with Penny Jonas yesterday. She was last month's winner. So Laura Lynn's this month's winner for my membership. Guys, would love to see more of you in the membership, but that's okay. We still do readings like this. So Wicked Wednesdays, we're going to be doing more true crime. On Thursdays, we are doing time travel Thursdays. And time travel Thursdays will be anything like, let's look at an alternate timeline. We're going to talk about some time stuff. Also on Wicked Wednesdays, we may be doing some interviews with some interesting people. I have a couple of people that I want to do a little bit of meet and greet. And then Fridays, we're going to do our lives. We're going to do our membership live, go right into our general audience live, just like what we're doing today. And you'll also get like a bonus video on Friday and Saturday and Sunday. I am working on the Charming Homes stuff. Charming Homes is part of my LLC, and that is home folklore, spell work, crafting that you can do to enhance the energetic profile of your house. My business partner Shelly works on it, but she is very busy with her kids. So we're going to kick it off with some ironing spray. I'm going to talk to you about why ironing your sheets is one of my delights in my world. And I made up a bunch of different ironing sprays that have different purposes in my house for different fabrics and things like that. So we're going to talk about, it is all aromatherapy, and it is also incorporating some magical practices into your house. So it's going to be really fun. So we've got a question on the table from Izzy. Let's bring up the cards. And this seems to be the card view that everyone is enjoying, the 50-50 screen. It looks like everybody can see what's going on really well here. I may reconfigure it on the vertical The vertical stream is a little bit more challenging. Oh, and one thing I want to do before we go any further, because I do forget at the end, I want to thank my mods. My mods are always here. They're always working hard, even if they're not obvious in the front line. But thank you, mods, for keeping all of the trolls at bay and managing the conversation and keeping everybody warm and cozy and comfortable. Mods, guys, are an underrated commodity on our YouTube channels because they do get into the conversation with you guys and they let us know, like Zephyr did when she messaged me on WhatsApp. Unfortunately, my WhatsApp is not cooperating on the computer, but you guys, will give us a heads up of things that are going on, news when we're offline, if there's breaking news. So they are absolutely indispensable and wonderful contributors to our channels and to our lives. I consider my mods friends. You guys know what I'm talking about. So thank you for being so amazing. So, all right. Oh no, mods don't get paid. Jello Donut. There's rumors that they do. Jello Donut. We'll talk about that in just a second. We'll have a little discussion about that. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. We've got Iggy Pop's question. Iggy Pop? I called you Iggy Pop. Izzy. Izzy's got a question on the table. Izzy, thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. I really appreciate it. When will S break no content? So this gives me an opportunity to talk a little bit about tarot. So tarot, a lot of people say it's not really good at telling time. It is. Tarot does tell time really well. And I'm actually going to bring out a different deck. Bear with me. I'm going to bring out a different deck so you can see how that works. Stick with me. I'm not going anywhere, guys. Where is my teaching tarot? Stick with me. It's what you get for having way too many decks. All right. I may have put it away because I had way too many. This is my witch's hat. So the gift from my business partner, Shelly. It's very cute, very sparkly. So all of the tarot cards are represented by a time period or, oh, I know where it is. Is it up here? Curious creatures. Some days, some of us have so many decks. It is ridiculous. Maybe I put it over. Well, I have one of my decks that is marked up for this, but we won't worry about that. We won't worry about that. So all of the cards have a time period or they represent a zodiac sign. We get a little bit more of an area. The minor arcana also represent different seasons. So with the wands, we have spring. With the swords, we have fall. With the cups, we have summer. And the pentacles, we have winter. Think about things being under the snow. So let's see. When do we get S to break no contact? And we have the Star. Let me just pull something up here. And because the star actually represents a specific time period. There we go. So the star is represented by Aquarius. So Aquarius is the period roughly between January 20th and February 18th. So we are in that period right now. What do we have to do to activate that? This says for you to do nothing. Now, if S did you dirty, they're going to come back with their tail between their legs. So they're going to come back and say, I'm sorry. Accept the communication. Let your guard down, but not all the way. I don't want you to let your guard down all the way, because the things that affected you in that relationship are still going to be there. They're still going to be on full display. Okay. So if you got done dirty, it's still going to be on full display. Don't go fall for the lip service where, hey, I've changed. I'm doing everything differently, blah, blah, blah. But again, we've got the time frame, January 20th to February 18th is when that no contact can come up, but it is also going to be affected by S's disposition and their contrition for how they treated you. So this is going to be a moment of curiosity. One of the things that I would do, you can check numerologically. Use S's birth date, whole birth date, month, day, year, or day, month, year, depending where you are, and see how their numerology is for the year, what kind of a year they're in. Is it a foundational year? Is it a progressive year? Is it a challenging year? I would do that. And if you have any questions about that, you can also email me, fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. You can also go to my sparkly brand new website that I am still in the process of building, and you can sign up for my newsletter. I don't send out like a monthly or a weekly newsletter, but I do send out a weekly email where I tell you guys what's going on. You can sign up for that. You can also see some cool stuff that's on there. So Izzy, I hope that you have a fabulous Thanksgiving, Valentine weekend. Thank you so much for your contribution. Really, really appreciate it. So let's answer Jello Donut here. Jello Donut. So Jello Donut. Mods don't get paid. And originally when I started my channel, I didn't have any mods at all. And I always had, some of you that have been with me since the beginning, there was Tarot Destroyer. It's a bot that shows up and basically spams your chat and attacks your chat. It was so annoying. I ultimately had a few individuals that approached me and said, hey, I'd really like to be a mod. Can I be a mod? Can I be a mod? And I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, now I have some, Zephyr is one of, she is my first in line mod, and she is a very professional mod. She manages the chat. She does work with a lot of other channels, so she is stretched thin, and I appreciate her coming over. But I also have Wife of a Grumpy Marine, who's been a mod for a long time, thankfully, who's been a mod for a long time. My husband obviously is one of my mods, as I am on his channel. Wifey, I think I've got all the new Tarot Destroyers blocked. I think I took care of that. But I don't require that my mods be in every single live. I don't make any demands on them. If they can make it, they make it. If they can't, they can't. If there's somebody who's acting amok in the chat, I trust their judgment. If there's somebody that's cursing or being abusive, I trust their judgment on that. So no, mods are not paid. But my mods, like if they have reading questions or anything like that, like we jump right in, and we become friends, like all of us become friends. So, very, very cool stuff. So, good question though. Good question. So, all right, let me get in here. All right, so get rid of that. And then I've got Wifey. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Super, super appreciate your super chat. See what I did there. So, all right. Hi, Margie. Good to see you in the chat. All right. Will my oldest daughter's business take off soon? She's stuck in a rut right now. She set up several business meetings. I like that she's got a very excited disposition about it. It's going to take a little bit longer. We got that strength card there. I think part of the issue here is that we're trying to butter both sides of the bread. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's the image that I'm getting. She does need to secure, I think, a bit more capital financing for what she's doing. And that has to be separate from the business meeting. So it's almost like production and promotion is going to be one kind of meeting that she has, and funding will be a separate meeting. If she can be a bit more liquid, I think the production and promotion meetings will be a lot more productive or yield more. That way it becomes like a true partnership and not her looking for benefactor or financial support for the business. So I think if she looks at it a little bit differently, she's going to see that the wheels keep turning. Keep the positive disposition about it. When we talk about manifestation, one of the things that Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about is that he wants you to actually feel the joy of when you get in that new car, feel the joy of when you walk into your first day at that sparkly new job, feel the joy of when the doctor hands you that beautiful baby boy. We can't just write down, I am going to be wildly successful at whatever it is I do. My good friend Rick Paul, who is also a psychic medium in the United Kingdom, amazing guy. One of the things that he says is that when we ask spirit, when we ask universe, and he frames it as Amazon.spirit, that's what he calls it. And when he frames it like that, he goes, you can say Amazon.spirit, I want to order up a pair of sneakers. Those sneakers may show up, but they might be 2 sizes too big, the wrong color. They may not have laces. They may be, lift. They may have lifts in them. We have to be really specific when we ask for success, when we ask for success of a great product. She's done the heavy lifting with the great product, but what she needs to do now is present herself as a professional that needs a partner just to get one more step up, not a partner that's going to craft the stairway for us. It's almost like I don't want to say it's like Shark Tanky, like I want to bring you in on my amazing product, but it does have to be kind of framed like that. I need a partner that's going to walk hand in hand with me, not someone who's going to forge the path for me. So that I think is really a better way of approaching success for this. The hard work is not done. She just needs a swim buddy. Look, our 8 of Cups guy is headed toward those mountains. He's headed alone. She needs a swim buddy. So how are some of these meetings seeing her? They're seeing it as not viable. Again, like restaurants, the number one reason that restaurants fail, and this isn't wifey's daughter's not in the restaurant business, but the number one reason restaurants fail is from underfunding, because they're going to lose some money in the setup. So don't worry about that. This is just how they are seeing her. They are seeing her as though she doesn't Zeph, can you help? Thankfully out there, it's okay. We'll get it fixed, don't worry. Thankfully, so it happens to all of us. Like I'm chatting with people in other lives that I'm a mod in, and sometimes like I hit it too long and I almost do it. It's totally fine. So the Tower card, they just see that there's not enough funding there, that something radical needs to be done. So let's pull another one. I think she's looking for one-stop shopping in these business meetings, and she can't really look at it that way. She's got to say, well, I have funding secured over here, and I just need you guys to take care of manufacturing, packaging, promotion, whatever that is. Up here, we've got, I do think she can slow down a little. Humanaki, good to see you. Edward Elliott, it's good to see you. Oh, don't use that S word. I adore you. I'm so glad you're here, Edward Elliott. So she needs to slow down just a little bit, wifey. I know she's eager to get this off the ground. I know she's been working on it for a while, but she's got to kind of go back to her basics. And I like I said, have her go to her own bank and see if she can secure some financing that way. See if she can pull some money and say, hey, I have this. Outcome, we are going to get transformation of the business. I think this is, and I don't know if you have any other family members that have started a business from scratch and a business in the same industry that your daughter is trying to start. I don't want to give out too much information until she's ready to like really launch. You tell me if it's okay to give out more information. But she's got to transform the way she's looking at the construction of the business, the ground level. She's still in the lobby and on the first floor. She's still in those two places. So, in order to get up to the penthouse, we've got to go through a few things to get there. And I do think that partnership and having individuals that are more familiar with this building of the company, because they're actually going to do projections with her, and they'll talk about the different lines that are going to come off that, I hate to say hero product because Meghan Markle's ruined that term for us. But the hero product, or the flagship product, let's say flagship product instead. I like that, flagship. So, I want you to make sure that she is focusing on management companies that are familiar with what she is trying to accomplish. So it's got to be people that are working with the same thing. Edward, I hope, Edward, that you are having a fabulous Valentine weekend. Let's drop some hearts for Edward. He is so good for my ego. Let me drop some hearts for you, my man. There you go. Lots. I'm going to give you one Purple Heart for Prince. I love Prince. I love me some Prince. So, wifey, I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you. Oh, I can tell more. Okay. So, all right, wait a sec. Wait. So, she just had business cards made. She has the packaging. She has a QR card. She has steady customers, FDA approved, and she has an LLC. Great. So what she should be doing, she should get a fund, like have a lender that is giving her, some more money that she has stashed in an account. I don't want that, commingled with anything else. She should have a business account. It's one of the reasons why Greg and I still have separate accounts, because I got to turn my bank account into just a business account. But so, ooh, she's got a hair oil now. Ooh. She's headed in the right direction. Does she have a website yet? Ooh, that's fun. Hang on. Hold on. Trying to get into my control room. Come on, open up control room. Let's go, baby doll. There we go. That Spotify. Okay. So we've got Beverly Alford. I haven't seen her in the longest time. Lilith Moonchild. I have no idea how to say that one name. Wifey, you got a membership. Beverly Alford. I love Beverly Alford. And Moms 42 all got memberships. Awesome. Thank you, thankfully, for doing that. Wife of a Grumpy Marine she's on Spotify. She also has Facebook and TikTok. I think expand out to the website. I just did mine through Squarespace. I redid it through Squarespace, and it has been fantastic. Wifey, if you want to drop her link, I am totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. You could drop her link. I certainly would like it. I would like to have that. So there we go. And thankfully, I want to highlight it. Thankfully, gave us a bunch of new subscribers, new memberships. So new memberships, I will have to let all of them know that they were given memberships. The weird thing is that they don't really notify people when they get memberships. That, like, you get an email, but I don't know who checks their email. I only check my business email. But thank you so much, wifey. We got more cookies in the cookie jar. Edward Elliott got his girlfriend a Confederate flag bikini. Woo! Hot stuff. I don't know what I got from Greg, but I know the package is on the dining room table or the kitchen table. So I know what I got him. You know what I'll do? Thankfully, I'm going to keep my, what do you call it, open. And I will do a post and let them all know. And maybe they'll see it. I don't know. We'll find out. I've had memberships to like a million channels, had no idea. Found out later on. They were like, "Oh, you let your membership expire." I'm like, I didn't even know I had one. Yeah, but I'll notify them. I'll see if I can do that. So we will have some fun, because I'm going to do a post with Laura Lynn's winning. So we'll put that up there too. We'll put that up there. All right. So oh, Ian, I'll do it today. I'll do it right now. I think I missed a question, though. I think Haley had a question up there, didn't she? Thought I saw Haley had a question. Hang on, Haley. I think you had a question about the royal family. There we go. That's one for the road. All right. So how is King Charles I got you, Humanaki. Sit tight. How is King Charles coping with Andrew? Oof. Head in the sand. Oh, there's more to come. But wait, there's more. How is this going to transform it? So, what is King Charles about to do? Guys, I think he is really going to let the investigation happen with Andrew. I think he's really going to let it happen. I think he's going to hand him over to the authorities. Edward, jazz music. Love that. Love that. My daughter's named after Ella Fitzgerald. She was born on Sarah Vaughan's birthday, though. But I think King Charles is not happy about this because he actually has to betray his brother. He has to betray his brother. And that is, I mean, for whatever Andy has done, your main goal is to protect your sibling, and he's painted into a corner. He cannot do it. He cannot do it. So I think there is a lot of turmoil in King Charles right now, but I think it's out of his hands. I think this is absolutely out of his hands. This tower in the upright means that there's nothing that he can do. There's information that's transformative. I think some of this, we're going to see that King Charles is absolved of any responsibility. I think they're gonna say, King Charles didn't know his brother was just running amok, doing as second-born sons do. And I think Charles has to kind of wrap this up and put it behind him. Is it affecting his health? Is it affecting his health? It's the thing that's not going away, and it's affecting his heart. Not his physical heart, his figurative heart. Hello, honey bunny. I do see you there, Twisted Tiara. Hang on, sweetie. So it's affecting his emotional components. And I think this is probably one of the harder decisions he's had to make as king. And is it a precursor to what he's going to have to do with Harry? Is it a precursor to what he's going to have to do with Harry? So I think he is really fed up with Harry. I think Harry has yelled at the king. And I think Harry has really, hang on. Oh, we're going fast. I should slow down the chat for today. I think that Harry does seem to be a bit of a lost cause for his father. I think his father says, you know, I've done all I can. He's an adult now. He's a man, which I think is good. Heather said, "Oh, you're welcome, Heather." I think it's good that King Charles is understanding that Harry has made his bed and he's got to lie in it, and he's got to deal with his own emotional problems. And I do think that King Charles is seeing it. That video of Harry breaking into tears is ridiculous. So Charles is dealing with the big problem right now, which is Andrew. Andrew is the big problem. Margie, yes, he did yell at the queen. He did yell at our queen. So the king is coping with Andrew as best he can, stoic, trying to get through it. And he's doing what he has to do. It's almost as if the decision has been made for him. So he's not serving up Andrew on a platter. He's not, you know, shoving Andrew in front to get out of trouble. He's doing it because the evidence is there and there's nothing that he can do. He attempted to protect his brother by putting him under this royal arrest that I've talked about before. And, you know, tucking him away in a building, just here, stay on palace grounds and just be quiet. Just, you know, go play backgammon with someone. You know, he tried his best, but the evidence that's coming out is too much. Is there more? Is there more to come? Oh, but wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. So there it is. There it is. So, King Charles. Okay. Humanaki. Mark Carney's wife. Margie. Oh, sorry about that. Margie, I think the treatments that he has are very drying. Very drying. Haley, I got you there. The chat's going very fast, guys. So if I missed anything, please be patient. Please be patient. So Mark Carney's wife. JE Connections. Mark Carney's wife. Is there a connection? Yes. Yes. Undeniable connection. Undeniable connection. Is it financial? I do think there's some financial. Is it the other thing? Ooh, no, I think it's mainly a financial connection. So what are we going to find out? That there are some investments that they did. I think both of them did pretty well. But it's shady investments here. And that's the thing. Like a lot of people, Jeffrey Epstein, like he made a lot of money and we're not really sure how he made all that money for himself. And I think that there's some shady connections there. So was it investment? Robert, personal questions. It's whatever you can afford. I just respectfully ask that you do it through super chats and do it all in caps so that I can see it because I'm an old lady over here approaching the 55 mark. So it was a riskier investment that she agreed to, or they agreed to. Mark Carney and his wife. So shady investment. I do think there was a celebratory celebratory time after that. So they may have gone down to the island as a bonus and may have had some fun. Maybe not the island, but maybe some other stuff. So yes, I do think there's a connection there, but I think it's financial and not just fun. Robert Charles would like to know, am I really good? So do my elevator speech. I have been working as a professional psychic for over 35 years. I read tarot cards on here because it's fun. It gives you something to look at. I did not see that I was going to slice my finger for the second time this month with my bread knife. So as far as myself goes, I'm not that great. I did grade my 2025 predictions, and I'm dripping those into my production videos. And currently I have an 80 to 85% accuracy rating for my celebrity predictions that I did for 2025. And just lately, I had to go back and look at my Britney Spears one because Britney Spears sold her catalog in December of 2025 for a reported 200 million. And I went back and I did have some insight into her separating and accepting some kind of payment for that. So you can go watch that video. That video either dropped today or tomorrow. So if anybody in the chat wants to tell Robert if I'm a really good psychic, that would be great. So appreciate it, Robert. Glad to have you here, dude. We have a really nice community. So hopefully we'll see you around again. I'm doing lives like this every Friday, Tarot Happy Hour. Typically, it's going to be a little bit later in the day. So I do pop culture questions for $0 on here. No super chats necessary. Hi, Dora. But the pop culture questions, I like those as filler, and we can just kind of add those in. So, is Alberta going to separate from Canada? Sing it with me, guys. It is one of my favorite national anthems. Oh, Robert, give me those questions, baby. Give me those questions. Canada, I don't think Canada is going to separate from, I don't think Alberta is going to separate from Canada. They will make some changes, I think, to the way that taxation happens. So I don't think that this is going to go over really well. I think that Albertans, and I believe we say Albertans, I believe Albertans are looking for a much more dramatic and demonstrative exit or action. So hang on there, Robert. Robert, we're going to get all 4 questions. We're going to get all 4 questions, honey bunny. So we're all 4 in that one question. Perfect. You are a champ, dude. Robert, you don't have to redo it. You took care of it. I am going to gladly answer all of your questions, boo-boo. So sit tight. So I think Alberta really wants a much more impactful response to the Canadian government, but I think they're going to stay there. They're going to do some changes with taxation to appease them. The public is not going to be too thrilled about it. What's coming down the pipe for Alberta? Alberta is going to be on a simmer, not a boil. All right. So they are going to be sitting there watching and waiting. I think more toward the end of the year, or I think it's going to come up a bit more July, August. We're going to see some more action around Alberta being very, very demonstrative about what they want to happen. And how they want to be. There's a thing about respect, about the level of respect that Alberta is being given. So I don't know a whole lot about how Canada and the provinces work, but there's something about them not being respected. So I think like maybe they're taking resources and kind of spreading those out, or taking taxes and kind of spreading it out all over the place. And I think they don't like that. So they're going to make some appeal to them and make them a little bit more happier there. So we'll keep looking at that though. Let's see. All right. I'm going one by one. Robert, sit tight. Sit tight because I'm going to come to you next after this one. All right. Another pop culture. And then we're going to go right over to Robert. Robert's got a lot of questions. So, are Andrew and his daughters causing all the rifts in the royal family? So we've got Andrew. I said Eugenie first, and then Beatrice. Andrew is absolutely. He's got to step out of the equation. He's causing a lot of drama. This is Eugenie. Eugenie is creating alignments. She is a bit of a triangulator. Whenever we get this 3 of Pentacles, I always want you to think like this is either cooperation or triangulation. In this case, it's triangulation. And then poor Beatrice is trying to mend fences. So I don't think that Beatrice, I think she's really trying to make nice with everybody and make things kind of cool. Is Andrew creating the rifts? Yes, because of his superiority. And I do think that Eugenie is much more demanding than Beatrice is. I think Beatrice really feels like their a closeness with the royal family, with the rest of the royal family has dissolved. I think she's very upset about it. So I think Andrew is still stepping in, like being very elite. You can't do this to me. I am actually a prince of the blood. You can't do this to me. So we'll see. That kind of is on brand for him. So all right, I just want to go down to, I want to thank Robert for his contribution to the channel. Thank you so much. We've got 4 questions and I really, really appreciate that. So let's get to work here. I love this. Love this. And I am just going to move on to a smaller deck just so we can get some more cards in here. So Cora broke my heart and married another guy over me. Will their marriage work? Let's take a look. I do think that they have challenges that they need to work through. So, and I think that a lot of it is financial challenge for them. Will their marriage work? It is really up to them. They need to cooperate and work through those issues. The challenges presented to them by the universe, the powers that be, God, and for the record, I just had this conversation with someone in my chat. I do very much believe in God. I come from a half Christian, half Jewish family. And I don't know what religion got it right, but I know that the ones that ask us to have good morals and treat our neighbors and our family and our other humans and pets and friends and lovers and whatnot, the religions that ask us to be kind are the ones that are getting it right. So whatever, you could be worshiping, squid or spaghetti god or whatever, I think as long as we're, treating each other kindly and working with the highest regard for people, that we're getting it right. Their challenges are a little bit more terrestrial based. So their free will is going to kick in. I want to know what you needed to learn from that experience with her. So what was your lesson? Patience to see when someone reveals whether they belong in your life. That is the big lesson for you, Robert. So sometimes we find someone who delights us, either in appearance or in their behavior. And we want so very badly for them to be a part of our world, but their morality, their sensibilities don't always match up with us. So, oh, I don't, guys, at the end of the live, I'll drop my count. Actually, I'll drop it now. Hang in there, Robert. I'm not forgetting about you. Bear with me. So private readings, copy. Well, sorry about that, guys. Just a second. All right, so what we got, if you would like a personal reading with me, you can go over there and you can either book at Calendly, or I'm going to be live all weekend on Hipsy. So, except for when I go out on my day date with my husband tomorrow. We're going to a cool little place that is a converted movie theater that's now a brewery, and they have great pizza there. So that's where we're going to be. Oh, thank you, Edward. I appreciate you. So back to Robert. Robert, so the lesson is to recognize the people that don't square with your morality and your sensibilities. Super, super important for us to understand the people that belong in our lives and the people that we want in our lives. You know, you can train an old dog, but sometimes you can't train an old bitch. I'm sorry, I had to say it that way. But you know, the truth is that sometimes, you know, some people have their focus on something else, and it may be money, it may be exciting travel and things like that. So, you know, we really want to make sure, and this was someone that we needed to have a bit more focus on what her goals were. And I don't think that her goals were really truthful for you. So, and I do get the sense that she was more money minded. And I think she was heading in another direction, thinking that there was a bigger pot of gold there. So is she going to get karma for what she did to you? In the moment, and I wanted to, you know, when we talk about free will, you know, I don't make hard and fast predictions about a lot of things because there's so much free will that we can exercise over our lives and over our outcomes. So for her, one of the things is that she creates an environment in which luxury is kind of a given, kind of like, well, you know, it's just going to be like this. Like, I have a standard that's up here and you need to meet that. But she doesn't do her homework behind the scenes either. She doesn't really vet those individuals to make sure that they've got all of the things that she wants lined up. It's almost like through demand, you will provide. Like that's kind of and I like that in terms of like manifestation, like like expectation is a big deal, and when we're manifesting, when we're trying to I am expecting the Fool is a great card for this, and he was just out here. The Fool, when he sets off on his journey, he does not expect anything to go wrong. And if it does, it's just going to be like a fun side quest on his main journey. The enthusiasm and I'm just going to put him up here. The enthusiasm and his unfailing optimism is really what it is. There is a bit of that in Cora, where she is kind of focused on, well, it's, if I want it, it's going to be there. We're going to have that show up. And I like that about her. However, she doesn't vet those sources. And that's what we have to do when we're talking about our free will. We can wish all day long, but it's not going to show up if we don't have the actual heavy lifting done. So example, if you want to get a great job, like say you're looking for a really great job, you're not going to have somebody walk up to your door, knock on the door and say, hey, here's a great job for you. You're going to have to go and look and apply for it and do those things. So it's almost as if she's waiting for that opportunity, that person to come up, knock on the door and show up and provide. So, and this is about providing the things that she wants. So she's not doing the work. She's not getting her ducks in a row. And I think that she will have repeated separation from the source that she's trying to extract money from, extract luxury from, extract the good things from. So does karma catch up to her? Not in the way that you want it to. It's not going to be like this thunderbolt from the sky and like her whole world's going to blow up. It's almost like it chips away at a stone. It's try again, try and failure. I don't know if this relationship does kind of eke out, because it doesn't seem as though she's vetted the individual quite well enough. So I think she may get into another cycle of the same situation, possibly similar to what she did to you. Sometimes we see people doing the same actions over and over again because they haven't learned the lesson. Kyle Gray is another spiritualist. He's a Scottish guy. He has a deck of cards called, he has a lot of books, and he has a book called Raise Your Vibration and a deck of cards that he's made. And one of the cards in that deck is relationships are assignments. And we have to learn our lessons from the relationships that are put in front of us by God. So make sure that you take notes when you're with them. So third question, will I pastor a second church one day? So you are looking for a bigger flock. So let's see. And I love that you're a pastor. Thank you for guiding people toward good spirituality. It's something that I try to do on a daily basis. I hope that I'm doing it. I hope that I'm doing it well. Will you pastor a second church one day? So I think you will pastor a different church one day. So I don't think that you're going to be doing two, but there's something about moving here, about it's almost like it's not a second church, it's a bigger congregation. So I kind of feel like there's another church that's going to combine congregations with yours, and so your flock does get bigger, but it comes into you. So I don't know if it's you that's moving on to this other congregation and you bring your current congregation with you. Your congregation gets bigger. And I do think that you are going to need some help. This Three of Cups in reverse, you're going to need some help. So you are going to need some good elders. I want you to start looking for your lieutenant elders right now. Find those people that are thinking in the same way that you are, that teach and preach the same way that you do. And I want you to bring them in nice and close. Okay. They're going to be very, very trustworthy people, because they are going to do the, like the day-to-day work for you. So, you become more of a rock star. You become more of a delegator and a manager, and you are the rock star, and they kind of do your dailies, if that makes sense. So, if someone calls up, if someone is troubled and they need some guidance, they will call up and make the appointment, and they may talk to one of your elders or one of your, what I'm calling lieutenant elders. They may talk to them before they talk to you. And so they will counsel in a very similar fashion the way that you do. There's something about a lot of weddings and babies, though. So I don't know if you're going to move into a younger community that has more weddings and celebrations and babies. I see you like almost overwhelmed by the amount of babies that are going to be coming in, and the bounty of babies that will be coming in. Very exciting times. I see a lot of like white christening gowns and things like that. It's really, really fantastic. And I think you're going to start to see that in the spring. So does this mean that maybe your congregation moves to a larger building and we get more people that are coming into the congregation as a result of that? Possibly. But I do think that there's also a smaller congregation that kind of comes into yours. It's like a pastor or a church is closing down. So I think that this looks very, very good. Put your eggs in this basket, because you're going to be holding a lot of babies. You're going to be hanging on to a lot of babies. And there's something about you that is very precious when it comes to children. And I'm getting a little bit emotional about it. There is something, you're very gifted at kind of soothing that baby when that baby comes into your arms. Like, it's almost like, you should be the first one after the family to go to the hospital and welcome this new sheep into your flock. Getting emotional. I'm trying not to cry. It's a very, very lovely gift that you have. You glow the brightest when you hold a brand new baby. That's something very, very lovely about you. Very emotional, very emotional. So yes, congregation grows, but I don't think it's a second church. I don't think you're going to spread yourself too thin, but I think the congregation grows. I think you get a second congregation, and there's going to be a lot of babies on hand starting in the spring. So I don't know if you're in a snowy area, Robert, but it's been snowy up here, and we know what happens 9 months after snowstorms. So definitely great news, wife of a grumpy Marine, for Robert. So will Andrew leave CGC? Will Andrew leave CGC? Let's see. Last question for Robert. Robert, thank you again for your contribution to the channel. And I appreciate you coming in. I'm glad to have you here. We're a very, very nice community here. Will Andrew leave CGC? Yes. Yes. But that message is not being put out yet. So don't be surprised. I think it's still in motion. So, what we get with the world is the last card of the major arcana. And the major arcana is 22 cards that start with the Fool, end with the World. We already talked about the Fool a little bit earlier when we were talking about Cora. But it is the lifetime of the Fool. And this is when he is passing into the next lifetime, passing into the next experience, the next world, and moving on with renewed, balanced information. The Fool has one stick that he's got his little baggie of goods on, and now we have two wands here, two wands of balanced power. And that can be the power of creation, the power of destruction when we look at the World card here. So Andrew is moving on to another phase. He learned all that he can from his experience in the CGC. But I don't know if that is in practice yet. So when I say that, this may be just still something that he is discussing, something that he is thinking about, something that he is kind of crafting. The Four of Cups here says that as well, that we're still kind of working out the details on that. And then here, not to disappoint anyone. So where do you fall into that equation? Patience, keep your eyes open. All will be revealed very soon. We're gonna find out. This is going to come out. There's concern. It's not that Andrew doesn't want to leave this spot. He's concerned about what happens after, and that happens to all of us. Like when we're leaving a job, or when we're leaving a circumstance, a relationship, we sometimes we're worried, like, who's going to take care of all this? Like who's going to make sure the tulips are taken care of in the spring? Like, are they going to pull up the bulbs like I do every year, when you're leaving a house or something like that? So, I think he's still working out the details of what happens when he exits that particular circumstance. So, Robert, I hope I did well by you. That was a lot of questions, but I appreciate it. I like a lot of questions. I'm not opposed to big questions like this. So, great to have you here. Thank you once again for your contribution to the channel. It does help me keep things going, helps keep the lights on, electric bills. Right now in New Jersey, we are struggling with electric bills, and it stinks. We got a new governor in state, and they're trying to work out our power issues here. So let me see. I am going to drop down couple of questions here, and let's go back to some of our pop culture questions. Twisted Tiara, hope you are doing well. Dad's funeral went great. You got his ashes back. I know you had a lot going on. Promises have been fulfilled to mom and dad. That's excellent. Let me give you a couple of cards. My good friend over there, my Irish lassie. There you go. There's mom and dad. Mom and dad are doing great. Look at them. Dude, you know what? Don't be surprised if you don't get a lot of signs from them. I think that they are reveling in being reunited. So you may not see a lot of signs from them. Don't worry. They will give you some signs. They will say hello every now and then. But for right now, don't be surprised if they're a little bit quiet at the moment. It's okay. They're giving you a chance to catch your breath. I know you got a lot of stuff going on your own plate. So there you go, my good friend. Let me go back over here, and I am gonna pop up this question, this super chat that came in. I can't seem to get my ducks in a row. Isar, how are you? You know what? Let me use a different deck. Guys, don't worry if you had other questions in the chat. I just prioritized the super chats and super stickers. So there we go. I'm gonna hit a little like on that. Boop. There we go. All right. Been late to work. Forgot you were scheduled for work. Can't seem to get it together. What is going on? This is all of us, Isar. All of us right now. We're all a little wonky. Tower, this is not your fault. I'm going to say it right now. Tower in the upright, not your fault right now, honey bunny. Not your fault. What is going on? So, universe and the gods, they know you're not in a spot where you feel like you're impactful, or I don't want to say valued, because I do think that they value to a certain extent, but you don't feel like you're as impactful as you could be. You feel like there's something more for you to be doing in the world. You feel like it's almost like your world is automated and you're just kind of going through the motions. So finding meaning in this minutia of your life. This is the minutia of just things that are just kind of rolling by. And this is you trying to find meaning. What should you be doing? Not telling you to quit your job. I want to say that right now. I'm not telling you to quit your job, but I do think that you need to start exploring some other avenues that you can go into. You know, when somebody can find meaning in making cheeseburgers all day long, somebody can find meaning in, hang on, I've just popped my ears. Somebody can find meaning in baking bread. You are feeding people. You are enriching people's lives, giving them sustenance and support. But some other people will be like, oh, I'm just making bread, and like I'm making it and somebody eats it and then it's gone. So it's like all for naught. Take a moment and find if you are working with intensity or intention. These are two different things. And I will tell you that I just did this because at the beginning of the year, I changed my entire schedule here on YouTube. And what I did was I went to a more live format, more live productions. I wanted to interact with you guys. And guess what? It didn't work. I didn't have everybody show up. I was working with more intensity than intention. So, you know what I did, and I started it last week. I changed my schedule. I did see my metrics change, and I'm also seeing better interaction with you guys on the live day. Friday is going to be live day. So this, I'm coming to the table. I'm not quite as depleted energetically. I'm not quite as depleted psychically. And it's much easier for me to kind of reach in and pull out the crazy, juicy psychic bits that I need to pull out for you guys. I'm also seeing that my production readings are much better because I am not, again, working with intensity. I think we should always work with a level of intensity, but we shouldn't be frantic. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about going from survival to creation. So instead of, running at top speed, trying to survive, we want to work in a creative kind of mindset where we are crafting that better future. Hi, Merc. I see ya. We're doing good. Had Trevor running around today. How are those ducks doing, Murky? So for you, I want you to do two things. I want you to look at the intensity and impact of what you are doing day to day. Can you change your mindset about what you do day to day right now? If you cannot change your mindset and the way that you are impacting others, perhaps it is time to look at another place to share your wares. That is the universe with this tower card that we have up here, I'm just going to make that a little bit more visible. The universe throwing the tower card at you, the universe sometimes says, when I was with my son's father, for 6 months before Hurricane Sandy, we were living separately in the house. And I was like, this is just how I'm going to live. There were other issues in place. And Hurricane Sandy happened, and we live at the Jersey Shore, and we had 6 feet of water in the house. And I was at my parents' house. My father was down in Florida and had an esophageal bleed, almost died, came back. My dog, my bulldog Lopi, that I was talking about earlier on the Members Only Live, Lopi, when I went back to the house, had a heart attack and died in the driveway. So I had a 130-pound bulldog that I had to bury in the middle of disaster central. And then my son's father had an appendicitis. This was all in the week after Hurricane Sandy. I'm not even kidding. Nothing was functioning here. I had 2 feet of sand in my front yard, and subsequently left my ex with $50 to my name. And I joked that, it took a hurricane to get me out of there. It took a massive, massive hurricane to get me out of there. So sometimes the universe throws some crazy stuff at us. The universe is not throwing a hurricane at you, Isar, but the hurricane is throwing some nudges at you. So that alarm clock is going to not go off. We're going to forget schedules. We're going to forget to write it down on our schedules, those kinds of things. Do a little reflection this weekend, and see if you can change your concept of impact in the work that you're doing now. And if you can't, possibly figure out if there's another place that you can be impactful. Again, not to make myself an example, but, in my corporate job, I worked in banking and insurance. I moved on from that job. It was 2 years this past October. It'll be 3 years in coming October. And insurance is an invisible product, and you are protecting people's finances. But did I feel like I was doing the world a whole lot of good? Nah, a little bit. It was malpractice insurance for attorneys. So, I was protecting their money. But was it as impactful as what I'm doing now? Maybe not. I am helping people live their best life. So what do you need to know in terms of the good that you can do in the world, Isar, right here? Queen of Biscuits. That is cultivating work that doesn't feel like work. Freedom, freedom, freedom. I want you to figure out where there is an absence of joy in your world. Where is the absence of joy? And figure out if you can plug that into something. Figure out if you can create joy where there's an absence of joy. I think that that's going to be a really fun challenge for you this weekend. So write it all down too. Make sure you write it down as you're going through all of this reordering. Again, I'm not saying quit your job, but I'm saying find a bit more purpose in the work that you do. Intention versus intensity. Dave is a little Dave update, guys. Dave Murphy is in America. He is here. He is down in Washington, D.C., and he's out sightseeing today. So I know he needed gloves. I don't know if he got his gloves yet, but he will be up here in New York, and we will be connecting with him, and we're going to do a live. So we will make that happen. We're going to collect him and bring him to our house. So he won't be in the city. We're going to steal him for a day. We're going to bring him down here and let him see what New Jersey's like. Shh, best kept secret. New Jersey is not just the opening scene to The Sopranos. It is a very nice little state. We live in a nice little township here. Very interesting little township. So it was more farmy when we were younger. But yes, it is supposed to get warmer the next few days. At least we're not getting that Arctic cold. So we're going to go back to some of our questions. And guys, I am actually going to close up the questions right now. So let me drop that. I got questions closed, y'all. I got that y'all in there for my main mod, Zephyr. All right. So does Andrew have a proclivity because he had an experience when he was younger? So let's see. We're going to look. Was he... did he have a negative experience? I got to be careful about how I said. Does he have a negative experience? Yeah. But I don't think it was the nature of, I don't think it was this nature. I think it was more bullying and just not so nice. Just I think he got shoved around, and he was like prepubescent, I'm going to say. And I think that when I grow up, I'm going to make sure that no one ever treats me that way again. And I think he kind of flexed that energy onto some of those other people. So no, I don't think that it was kind of circumstance that he had, but I do think that he was bullied quite badly. Is this why he has that particular reliance on his proclivity? Yes. Because he rides it till the wheels fall off. He rides it until the wheels fall off. And those poor gals that were with him. Because I think if you said, I'm tired, it hurts, I don't think he would stop. I think he would keep going. Keep going. So, yeah, I think it's a flex of power, though. A flex of power. Humanaki, don't go anywhere because you had a bunch of questions. Got another one. How close? He just came. Saville just came up in my feed on something, and oh God, what a creep. What a creep. So, how close was Saville to Andrew? What did Andrew think of Saville? He didn't really like Saville. He was cordial. Look, we got 2s and 7s here, guys. 2s and 7s. He was cordial to him, but he kept a distance from him. Why didn't he like him? Why didn't he like him? I don't think that, I think Andrew knew what Saville's proclivity was. It's the word I use for it. I think Andrew knew what that was because a rat can smell a rat. And yeah, we're all going to have to sage our phone after this, wifey. And he just kind of kept his distance from him. If you only eat vegetables, you're not going to go down the meat aisle. You're not going to go down the meat aisle. So I don't think he was close to him. I think he was cordial. But is King Charles ever going to have to answer for that? King Charles has it wrapped up, and he scrubbed all of the communications. King Charles will never have to answer for his association with that particular person because he has scrubbed all the information. It's gone. It's gone. That was much easier to manage. It wasn't quite as electronic as the Epstein thing. We didn't have a lot of emails between them. Never go for ice cream with him and never sit in his lap. Oh yeah. You know what? Everybody had somebody in their family sphere that was like that. Don't ever talk to Uncle Joey. We have a ton of Joeys in our family. There's none of those Joeys, but yeah. All right. Here we go. It is said, hi Haley. It is said that William will cut the Sussex side and the York side from the line of succession. Will William cut out the Sussex side and the York side from the line of succession? So let's Sussex side. Is William going to cut him out? Absolutely. He's going to let him go. Let him go. What he's going to do is, and I hope that he has time enough to do this, he is going to say, you guys are done in the United Kingdom. Go create your own house of whatever, House of Dork in the United States. That's what he's going to do. Can he banish Harry from the United Kingdom? I don't think that he can. But I think he's essentially going to make it very, very difficult for Harry to come back. You made your bed. You are going to lie in it in the United States. So I know you don't like Donald Trump. Now you're stuck with them. That's basically the message that William is going to send to his brother, Harry. So Harry's crying now. He's going to be crying a lot worse in the near future. So he'll be stuck here. I do think that they are going to give him his final payment. And I think that that will come from his inheritance from the king. And I think that will be the final payment. You are done. Go with God. Go on. You are now no longer a part of the power structure of the royal family in the United Kingdom. We reject you. We reject you. So, Harry's half in and half out did not work. It did not work. It did not work. So, what about the York side? Are we going to see the York side cut out of the line of succession? I'm going to do a bonus question on this too. Bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. Bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum. This, I think, will be a little bit different. I don't think that there will be any continued extending to the descendants of Eugenie and Beatrice. I think when their children have children, there's no titles, there's no rank. I think it kind of ends with them. Now, as far as crimes against the crown, against humanity, against, people around them, I think there's going to be a very dark and deep line that's drawn in the sand. If you do X, Y will happen. If you do A, B will happen, and you're done. Their finances are not going to be supported any longer. I think Beatrice and Eugenie are going to kind of be on their own. We talked about the grace and favor houses. I think that the grace and favor houses are going to start to disappear. So there's going to be, they're like on double secret probation, the gals and their kids and their spouses. Watch out, Jack Brooks Bank. That's so hard to say. I have a lazy S, so it's a little hard to say. But I don't think that, are you wearing makeup?
No, Dean Wormer.
Oh, Dean Wormer. Dr. Hathaway, are you wearing makeup? So I think the girls will be scared skinny. I think they're going to be scared skinny, and they're going to be afraid to step out of line. It's going to create a lot of anxiety, more anxiety for Beatrice than Eugenie. I think Eugenie is just like, meh, whatever. Right now, Texas Kit Kat, right now, what kind of timeline are we looking at for... Oh, sorry, Ian. Stick around. Stick around. I got it. I may not have gotten to it yet, Ian. What kind of timeline for William to remove Harry are we looking at? He's stymied right now. He doesn't have any control over it right now. So I do think he is waiting to do that. We're going to have to wait on that guy because he is not in control yet. Timeline in terms of him announcing to the House of York. I think he's already told them. I think they already know. And I think Jack and Eugenie do live in Portugal. So Counselor of State is going to be a more immediate question. Will Harry be removed as a Counselor of State? Not now. Will William remove him? Absolutely. So I don't think that he's been removed as a Counselor of State. So by the king, I think he's going to remain there until the changing of the guard. And then I think William goes, nope, no Counselor of State for you. So Andrew, is Andrew still a Counselor of State? I don't know if he is. Andrew, Counselor of State. We're not relying on him for anything with the king. And with William, it'll be formalized. So right now, I think it just is what it is. So let me check. Ian had a question about tariffs. Will the tariffs end this year? This is kind of a big question because we have different tariffs. Or are you talking about the Canadian tariffs? Will the tariffs end this year? Nope, not all of them. There will be a discussion and a kind of leveling of them out. So a little bit, there's going to be relief, but it's not total relief. We're not going to get rid of all of them. There's going to be tariffs on different items, different things, but not all of them. So they'll like kind of release them, like, you know, maybe we'll take the tariff off maple syrup. I love maple syrup. We have our own Vermont maple syrup, but it's not as good as that Canadian maple syrup. So I think they're going to make some changes to the tariff structure, but not completely get rid of them. So I hope that helps. All right. Officially, last question, guys. Last question. But if any of you want a personal question, you can drop a super chat. I will answer it. Last question. Last call. Last call. Is it true that all Sarah's charities have bailed on her? Yep, it's out in the open. You know, the fact is that she wasn't really doing anything great for them anyway. So, and I almost feel like she was not really doing it as robustly as she should have. It was like a half effort that she was putting in there. House of Dorkin. So you know, she's sad about it, but I think more so because of the prestige and the connections that she had there. It gave her a reason to interact with people. Like, nobody wants to hang out with Sarah Ferguson because they find her engaging and fun to have coffee with. There's no appeal like that. The appeal was that she would come in and hopefully get things done. But I feel like it was like a very half-assed effort. And I do think that this started when she got sick. And so it was a good excuse. Like, I hate to say it was a good excuse. You know, I do understand that was fairly serious, but she kind of the reduced workload that she had when she was in treatment and recovering from her surgery, she just kind of continued with that. Like, she didn't do anything else. You know, she's just like, oh, you know, okay, I'll just, you know, keep it in first, you know, just kind of motor along. I'm not going to really dial it up. So that's not surprising. You know, and just to give her a little bit of grace, after we go through treatment, after we go through cancer treatment, your energy level is not the same. It's not the same. It does take a little bit out of you, and it takes some time to bring that back. Years ago, I had a friend, Mark. He was a chiropractor, great guy. He sadly passed away from his cancer. But he had 2 rounds of cancer. And that was one of the things that he had said to us, is that despite, you know, me, you know, trying to rebuild my body and rebuild my energy levels, I'm just not capable of doing things that I did before. And we were in our early 30s. So, you know, early 30s when that happened. So, you know, I just feel like this was something that she really stayed in a certain mode and a certain level of energy toward her charities, and hasn't regained that either by design or by circumstance. So the charities bailing on her, there already was a decline of work anyway. So that's unfortunate for her. I think, that email about her kid was a little tough. So you reap what you sow. So Ian, good question. Good question. If you want full advance of time, you can book now. Have at it. Have at it. The Calendly link, you do use the Calendly link, and you can book way in advance. Because you are a member. So send me an email because I'll send you the link. I have to send one to Thankfully too. There's a link for membership pricing. So I'm going to drop the link in membership post in a few minutes. And, I want you to book for that because I want you to get the discount on that. All right, kids. So that being said, again, you can book. I think my bookings on Calendly, you can book like a few minutes in advance. Like I think 15 minutes before your appointment, you can book. But if you want full advantage of time, by April, I have a lot of room. There's a lot of room on my schedule. And as always, with my Calendly link, nobody pays for their appointments in advance. I always have you pay at the time of the appointment. The Hipsy app is a little bit different because that's a per minute. But you can book readings on there, but for membership, book in the Calendly link. That's a much better one for you guys. So, no, I think William's going to do a coronation, and I think I don't think it's going to be small. I think that's why they did King Charles is very small. I think Williams is going to rival what we saw from Nicholas II, the last czar. I think they are going to have a spectacular coronation. The courtiers are going to call for it, and the people are going to call for it. It is going to attempt to usher in another Queen Elizabeth II reign. They're going to try and change the milieu, but I think that it's not what William wants. He doesn't want all the fanfare, but I think he's going to understand that they're going to have to do it that way. They're going to have to. So, guys, did we have fun today or what on this Valentine's Day kickoff? It was a fun time, right? I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. I think I got to everybody. We had some new faces up on the board. We had some new questions up on the board. New friends in the chats. Got lots of cool stuff going on. So great kickoff to your Valentine's Day. I hope. Hi, Broly. Здравствуйте, как дела? Мой друга. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. I think you're a guy. So, but it is good to see my Russian friend in the chat. So my Russian friend from Brooklyn, you're up in there in Brooklyn. I know you're up by me. So, guys, next week we are going to go back to our regular time. It's going to be in the afternoon. Afternoon my time, like 3:45 my time. We're going to do the members only chat, and then at like 4:45, 5 o'clock, we'll go into tarot happy hour. So you guys can bring your cocktails, bring your sparkling juices, whatever you have, snacks, and we will cruise on in to Friday night together, reading some cards and having some fun, making some new friends and just chatting it up. And next week we'll talk about, oh, you are a guy. Okay. So is it drug? Мой русский друг. Да? Это хорошо? Is that good? I'm not sure. Мой русский язык не хорошо, очень плохо. So I try though. So my one word that I learned, хорошо. My one word that I learned right away, because they would play soccer, they play football when I was at Middlebury at the Russian school. Pomagай, help. I was like, oh, I need that word. So every now and then, Flawless, I will ask you for oh my god. But okay, guys. So I'm gonna scoot off. But good news, I'm going to be live on Hipsy all weekend. Greg and I are going out for a day date tomorrow. We're gonna keep it cool. We're gonna have a nice chill night tonight. I'm doing a Galentine's in-person event, which I never do. I'm gonna be at a bakery. It's gonna be so much fun. But tomorrow I will be live all day. Sunday, I will be live all day on Hipsy if you guys want your own magical readings from me. But you can also book through the Calendly link. I pinned that comment to the top of this chat. So if you want to go over there, you can see the offerings that I have. I've got all kinds of cool stuff. Like I said, Calendly, you can book, just hourly appointments with me, half-hour appointments. You can get text message readings from me. On Hipsy, you can get recorded readings. There's a whole bunch of discounts for first timers, return visits, scheduled readings. There's all kinds of discounts on there, but it is a per minute rate. So go check it out. Members, I will be dropping the membership special pricing in a membership post right now. And that'll be on YouTube, but it'll be only for membership. So Ian and thankfully you guys can see that, but if you want to drop me a message, thankfully I'll text you over that link just so that you have it. And Ian, if you want to send me an email, fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com, you can do that. And everybody go check out my website and you can go sign up for emails. There's an email section on there. There's going to be cool stuff coming on the website as well. I'm going to have a membership section, Too Hot for YouTube section, a teaching section. I am moving my entire school off LearnWorld and putting it onto my website. So it's taken me a little bit of time, but I'm going to get it done for you guys. And until then, I hope you all have a happy Valentine's Day. If work is busy tomorrow, if I don't have a lot of readings, I may do a really quick. And there's Becky. Everyone say happy Valentine's Day to Becky. So if it's not super busy on my schedule, I may do a pop-up live for Valentine's Day in case somebody wants to come in and spend some time with us if they don't have a date, or if they go on a day date like Greg and I are going to do. So maybe we'll do a little quick live from our alternate ending experience tomorrow. So, all right, guys, I will talk to you later. Next week, lives on Friday, and they're going to be a little bit later in the day. So it's going to be Tarot Happy Hour, and we'll have a whole bunch of fun in there. So happy Valentine's Day to you all. Thank you so much for being members and subscribers and for participating in all the fun that we have here. I will see you guys next week.